Hi again. I can't believe I'm doing a second video. Um, yeah, this is fucking weird to me. I've probably just ruined my chance of monetization. I don't know how YouTube works. I simply use it to watch silly videos. Um, but today, it's been a better day. I've still had my struggles. But I just put my head down at work, was working away. Um, a lot of the big struggles that I had, I feel like one of the biggest things that was on my mind has kind of had a bit of a shift, which has been nice. Um, yeah, that's been it's been nice. I mean, there's still struggles in my life and all that bollocks, but I'm trying. Um, and what more can I do other than try? Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm genuinely shocked to see that some people had actually watched me ramble on for 12 minutes. I didn't think I was that interesting a person or had that much of an interesting story to say. I was planning on fucking putting this out and, it sitting at 1, 2 views, and I'd be fine with that. I wouldn't care, honestly. I just wanted to get it out there. Um, you know, Sometimes I don't feel like a real person, and it kind of made me feel a bit more like a person. But yeah, I had a bit of a fucking nightmare today. As I was leaving my flat, 6:30 this morning to go to work. I shut my flat door, and I was like, oh, I feel like I'm missing something here. And I started padding my pockets down, and I realised I was like, oh shit, I've shut my keys in my flat. So I had to go to my estate agents today and go and get the spare key. Obviously, my ex has my other key. She does no longer live within a commutable distance for me. I don't drive, so it's quite a trek for me. I'm down in the south, so. Um, but yeah, that nightmare was pretty fixable. Surprisingly, I'm surprised it was sorted so quickly. But yeah, I've just been sorting shit out. Trying to carry on, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, like reading some of these comments that there's 7 of them, so I'm not exactly reading War and Peace here, but yeah, I do appreciate them. I mean, fucking what's that name? Babble Bunny. Like, yeah, I really appreciate that. That's yeah, it's really nice. And thank you for saying that my hair is badass. I haven't cut it since I was just before my 13th birthday. I'm 27 now. Um, I have a most probable. I've never fully diagnosed. I was diagnosed with dyspraxia as a child, but never anything further. But last time I did therapy, my therapist was like, "I guarantee you're autistic." And I think it's one of those. I hate it when people touch my hair. It freaks me the fuck out. I hate it. It really sets me off. Um, but yeah, I do appreciate that, and there was one that made me laugh. Janat Ehrlich 6975 said, "Halt durch du bist genug," and I don't know what that means because I don't speak German. But apparently it means "hang in there, you are enough," and I do appreciate that as well. I did have to translate that. I am an English man. Generally, our standard of education is, it's everywhere else in the world can speak 2 languages, not here. But I do appreciate it all the same. But I don't have much to say. You know, yeah, I'm just fumbling over my own words at the moment now. Looking at this is my spare room. This isn't my bedroom. This is my spare bedroom or the spare room where I store. Well, my desk is here. I used to work from home many a year ago, too. And this is where my setup was. But I just keep looking around because I need to tidy it. Funnily enough, with the nature of the video, I can't really be bothered. which I'm sure makes sense to some people, I suppose, maybe to many. Who fucking knows at this point. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what to talk about really today. I felt like I got a good chunk of stuff out yesterday. I don't know if I should talk more about myself or what. Like, I don't know what. I don't think I'm a very interesting person, so I just don't really have much to say. If you meet me in person, I don't speak very often. If I'm drunk, maybe I'll pipe up a bit more, but I don't, as I said, I don't really drink that often. Only if I play a show, which doesn't happen very often anymore since I quit my original band that I was in since 2019, and I quit because I had a meltdown again. Shock horror, really, isn't it? But yeah, I go about, and they were nice guys and everything like that. I just grew apart from that band, and I think they knew that as well. My love of that had just kind of dropped, which happens. But I'm still involved in music. I love that stuff. But yeah. At the moment, I'm just working, trying to build my finances back up. Currently, my bank account is sitting at -£600. Credit cards maxed. That's what 2 years of unemployment will do to you in Starmer's Britain, I suppose. I don't know. I don't really care about politics. I think that everyone should just be happy, and it's not realistic, but I'm not educated enough to say anything about it. I'm simply a thick bastard from Bournemouth who sits about. I'll play video games, I'll play guitar, I'll fucking, I'll go to work and put things in box. I'm not educated to talk about this stuff, and I don't really want to be honest with you, because it's miserable. But also, that's a very privileged position to be in, I suppose, to be able to say something like that, but who knows. But yeah, I'm away this weekend. Friend's birthday, fucking hired a brewery or something, so we're going there. Great for someone who doesn't drink very often, but I will probably still drink, especially if I'm at a brewery. Like, I'd be a fool not to. Nice beers as well, instead of fucking gash that they serve in most pubs. It does mean though I have to stay away. I know obviously, I moaned in the last video about living by myself, being lonely and stuff like that, and I am, but I'm also quite a reclusive person anyway. So there's I have my limits where I start to freak out a bit, where I'm like, and where I went about a month of no contact was when it was, oh yeah, I'm starting to freak out a bit now. But I didn't see anyone last weekend, but I've seen people all week this week, and I'm like, weekend away. I just want to stay at home and catch up on my cleaning and things, but it is what it is. I'll have to do that in the evenings, I suppose, instead of doing this. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I did find this really cathartic. I found it really useful. It did help in getting the thoughts out. And I'd been speaking to someone, a really, really good friend of mine. I've been speaking to them, but I'd kind of overwhelmed them a bit. I had latched on through my own loneliness, and I freaked them out and overwhelmed them, and they had to take some distance from me. And I can't blame them in the slightest. I 100% respect what they did, and I would have done the same probably, if I'm speaking realistically here. I don't hold any animosity towards them. I still love them. Really, really good friend. So I don't mind. And I did. I did go a bit OTT with things. During my manic episodes. It sounds like an excuse, I suppose, but I blacked out. I didn't know what was happening, kind of thing. I wasn't in control of myself almost. But what I was saying, I suppose, was true, because it's all come from the brain. It's all stuck up there. Also, I can't remember who it was. Was it Babble Bunny again? Yeah, who said I've got a great presenting voice. I don't know what that means, to have a good presenting voice. I don't think I do have one very much, or have a very good presenting voice. I don't know, I'm not going to be like Bruce Forsyth or something, like, I didn't really watch any of them with Bruce Forsyth in before he croaked, so I don't know what he sounds like or what he did. I wasn't exactly a Strictly fan. Like, I've been into like death metal since I was 12. Like, I wasn't watching Strictly. I wasn't watching like the shit that he would do. And also I was born in '98, so there's a bit of discrepancy there with what he was actually doing. All I know him from Strictly, but I know he did game shows in the 70s and all that shit, but I wasn't listening to that or watching that and whatever. I'm not much of a TV watcher. I started watching films. Before I was working again, I was watching some films and I was bloody loving it, but the wage slavery begins again, I suppose. No, I don't mind my job, to be honest with you. The only thing I dislike about it is that for such a simple job, I put things in box. People really struggle with it, and that does shock me. I don't know if it's something like, I've been out of work for 2 years, so as soon as I get into a workplace, I want to fucking show that I belong there. Like, I want to show that I deserve, I deserve to be running the fucking place, to be honest, working harder than anyone there. I don't really, I just was working as hard as I possibly could, and then there's other people who are just like, fucking, they're doing one thing a minute, and you're like, what, like, how are you taking so long to do anything? Maybe that's just me being an arsehole, I don't know, but it does get a bit frustrating, especially because then I get bollocked for taking too long, and I'm like, well, not my fucking fault, really, but I've talked about work too much now. I've become one of those people. But no, I don't mind it. Pays shit, but what job is it nowadays, I suppose? Doctor, 90 grand a year to tell people, get over it. Yeah. Plants are doing well. They're still alive. It's been raining a lot, so they've been... Oh, fuck me. It's been raining a lot, so they've got their water and all that bollocks. They're doing well. The weather has been terrible this week, really. I get my first pay tomorrow from the job, which I'm buzzing about. Absolutely buzzing. I haven't had a paycheck in 2 years. I get weekly pay, and I think I might actually cry when I see that money go in my bank account. No, I wouldn't cry, but I would be very, very fucking happy that it's all finally get paid off. I've been there a week today, so, but yeah, there was another comment as well, actually, from Barack Obama. But yeah, I do appreciate that as well. I'm reading message currently. I'm quite a slow reader because I'm not the smartest of blokes, but no, I appreciate it. I don't particularly want to be someone that society wants me to be. I'm pretty happy being an outsider. Speaking about, I mentioned a minute ago that I'm into death metal. It's not really a death metal band, it's a doom metal band, if you're that way in caring about any of that shit. I just like waffling, honestly. But the band Electric Wizard from Dorset, from one of my favourites ever, and their whole thing was being an outsider. And I started reading their is it an autobiography if it's been written by someone else, or is it just a biography? I can't remember but I was reading the book called Come We Fanatics. The name of their second album, that I want to say Come My Fanatics or Come We Fanatics, I can't remember. Just talking about, like the chosen few that have been able to be interacted with, with that and stuff. I really it really resonated with me, being a kind of sticking to my outsiderness, you know, through the years. And, you know, I try. I try. I don't particularly, yeah, I mean, I don't really want to be a normal person, I suppose. I want to, you know, I want to be me, but I want to be me in a way that means that I'm not at a constant war with my own head, which I think is all anyone really wants, isn't it? At the end of the day. But I think I'm going to have to end this because I'm running out of phone battery. I haven't charged my phone. I literally got in from work, took my shoes off, changed out my work trousers because I didn't want to wear my jeans. I wanted to put some fucking comfy trousers on. Yeah, I literally then started filming. I wanted to get this out. I've been thinking about it all day. Like, yeah, that actually really helped yesterday, so I want to get it. I want to do it again. So yeah. Yeah, cheers for anyone who watched last time. Cheers if anyone watches now. I don't know how to end a video. As I said, I'm not a YouTuber. I don't know any of that shit. I just fucking want to talk about how I feel. So, cheers.